But you take a look at his all-time stats, he's 10-7. Protoss is a Protoss, he's 4-3. He took some really important PvP matchups for MVP in the earlier rounds. And he used to be one of our gold Protosses, actually. He was one of the most winning Protosses back in the beginning. And he still has 10 wins. He's not top 10 anymore, but he had a lot of wins. So you can see he's kind of in a bit of a slump compared to where he once used to be compared to other Protosses. So I like his chances a lot here. He has a lot more experience in Pro League this season than Oz does. And look at Oz's all-time stats. He's 15-20. He has played in other seasons of Pro League. I mean, this guy's a Brood War player as well, former Epic Open player, former teammate of Moonglade of mine, the first Korean to actually ever join the team.
Yeah,
he used to live with us.
Yeah, I used to watch this guy stream all the time, actually. Just watch him all the time. He used to stream all the time, and great guy to watch if you're a Protoss player.
He's Secret Protoss. He used to be known as in Brood War, and known as Twilight Foyu.
Twilight Foyu.
Yeah. Definitely a great player to watch, and he's pretty successful so far this season. Let's see if he can continue the trend, or if Super is going to put MVP into a 2-0 lead.
LTA는 SK텔레콤.
Down here in the bottom right in the red for Team MVP, it is Super.
And the top left in the blue for IM, it's Oz. Currently playing for Planet Key Dynamics, I believe, is his official team, but he's partnered with IM. So,
very interesting team name there.
Yeah.
I actually haven't heard of that team before. Until he joined it, of course.
The reason I know he's on Planet Key is because Brendan and I commentated his games in the GSL Global Tournament. And
they pronounced the whole team name before he came out?
Yep.
Planet Key Dynamics, Oz.
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 So, you know the story of Oz's ID. I'm pretty sure you like traveled a lot actually while Oz was living in the house. I'm not sure if you were there when his ID was chosen, his new ID.
No, I don't think I was.
He said he wanted to choose a new ID because it was a fresh start, and I remember he thought about it for several days, and then he came to me and Josh, Epixo Boston. He's decided, and Unstable was there as well. And he said, "I want to be known as Epixo Poo," like P-O-O-H, and we were like. No. And he was like, well, I thought you might say that I had a backup plan. And he said Oz, and I don't know why, but like we loved it at the time, and he's stuck with it still. Oz is a great idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea. I wonder why he thought that up. Oz. Is it because like it was like some Australian influence in FXO, or
maybe actually I never really thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Oz isn't like Aussie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe when I first heard that name, I was like, this is obviously from Wizard of Oz, like, but I guess maybe not.
There was like a play in Korea that was quite famous called Oz. It's probably based off of Wizard of Oz. I never saw it. Maybe that's related to it as well. Never asked him, but I just thought it sounded cool, so we all agreed, like, yeah, that's a good idea for you. By the way, we have a much faster gateway here, insanely so for Super.
Much faster. Also getting the double gas behind this, so I think we're going to see some kind of tech play just with the faster cybernetics core.
Oz seems to have gone gas like super early.
Yeah,
here,
he went like gas first, or gas before gateway sort of thing.
Yeah, gas before gates.
He's banking up a lot, so we're going to have to wait and see what exactly he's going to use it for.
See if he can survive with it. Now, this is very sneaky. This is very secret Protoss-esque. Oz definitely has, like I said before, a ton of different builds he's shown us in PvP.
But I mean, it's sneaky, but at the same time, it's been scouted. I mean, like, obviously, he would have gone into the base of Oz and clicked on those assimilators and been like, whoa, you have a lot of gas already. What are you going into? And he obviously saw the latest cybernetics core too, so he's going to want to try and hang around and really look for the tech. And
oh, look at this. If you take a look at the base of Super, you can see he's been severely chrono boosting his warp gate research as well. And I think he's just going to try to punish here. 3 gateways straight up.
Not a bad idea at all.
If I'm not mistaken, this happened very recently where somebody tried to pull this off, double gates with a Stargate, and the player that was against him was like, okay, I'm just going to kill you 3 gates. And he was able to barely hold with Void Rays and like 1 Oracle then for the counterattack.
Classic?
Maybe.
Classic held something, I think it was on Frost. They were like both on the east side, and he tried to come up. Like
Yeah, something like this happened recently where the player who did rush the Stargate with a late core actually held. And we'll see if Super can actually, actually succeed this time. He goes Phoenix. He's rushing out Phoenixes. That's going to be...
that's going to be even worse.
That's going to help him, like, temporarily disable a unit, but that's it.
It's not going to kill anything, that's for sure. And I mean...
You cannot be losing hit points on this Mothership Core, I have to say.
No.
Because that thing is pretty fragile.
And, yeah, I mean, there's only one gateway. Warp Gate is halfway done, and we have one sentry out, so it's going to buy a little bit of time, but I don't know about this at all.
If he actually targets down that Mothership Core, I think this game ends. He has to target it right now. He targets it. He targets it. And, oh, boy, Oz barely gets out there, but doesn't have enough energy for an overcharge. I don't think he's going to be able to have enough no matter what. Even kills a Phoenix here. 87 energy right now, and he's trying to run all the way back to the end. That Void Ray is on the way. And that Void Ray is actually going to be able to fight a small number of Stalkers, but it's not going to be a small number of Stalkers for very long here. Trying to trap these with the probes, not a bad choice, but there's just way too much DPS here. I'm not sure.
This Mothership Core, if he gets focused now, he will not be able to use
He just needs to right-click it. Just right-click it once.
If he right-clicks it, oh, there we go. Oh, what a mistake.
Oh, that was honestly extremely sloppy, I have to say. The Mothership should not have been part of this fight with this many Stalkers coming forward. And this is game over. Even with the Void Ray here, he's not going to have the probe count he needs to hold off against additional Stalkers. What he should do is now just run away until that prismatic alignment timing is out, and then just continue to warp in Stalkers. Actually, I take it back. He has enough already.
Yeah, he just comes back, and he's going to focus on that Void Ray, and that's going to be it. The one Stalker, just too greedy out of Oz, and Super identified it, played aggressive, and there's the GG.
GG. What a mistake with that Mothership Core.
Yeah, I have to say, I think this map is not the map that's best suited for this strategy. I think a map like Frost or Alter Zeme is much better.
Yeah,
for
definitely a
like
bigger
this.
map. Even King Sejong, like anything with a bit of distance to give you that room for sure. But yeah, it was a great reaction from Super.
And good execution, no overextending. Picked off the sentry first. He was, just making sure there's no additional force field to come down. I almost feel like he could have targeted the Mothership Core earlier, but he just played it safe, killed the probes instead. And that puts MVP into a pretty quick 2-0 lead here. Back-to-back, pretty fast games. And if Billowy is able to defeat Lucky, who has not played in a long time, then they take a 3-0 lead and win.
It's looking extremely, extremely good here for MVP. That's 2 games in a row that they needed to win, especially the first one there, and against BL there. One of their big players for IM. And now with these 2 players down, I don't know. It's going to be up to Lucky, like you mentioned, to win this, to try to take this back, but I don't know, it's not looking good.
Yeah, I don't know if Lucky can do this. I mean, Billowy is very strong, and yeah, we haven't seen much of Lucky in a long time.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a very interesting match.
He was definitely one of the best players Epic's Open had. The thing about Lucky is he was always one of the best players on the team, but he very rarely played. It was almost like he only played when he knew the exact map he was going to play on and exactly who he was playing against, and he had a very special build order. Before we